Customer at Subway wants to speak to the manager. I worked at a Subway that didn't have any authority/managers, just a couple minimum wage base level workers. I don't remember what this particular customer was mad about, but she was arguing with me and didn't like the answer I gave her. She asked to speak to the manager. And there not being a manager, I decided to promote myself on the spot and replied with manager speaking, "How can I help you?" This did not make her very happy because she realized she was not going to get a different answer and asked for a phone number to call. The owner has specifically told us never to give his cell number to customers, so I gave her the store number. She gives me a shit-eating grin thinking about how much trouble she's about to get me in when the phone behind me starts to ring. I will never forget the face she gave me as I answer the phone. Look her in the eyes and ask her, "How may I help you?" Now to the comments. What could have happened at Subway that someone needs to speak to a manager? You go down the line and tell the sandwich artist what you want on your sub. You literally ducking stand there 2 feet away and watch them put the meat and veggies on a piece of bread. Ask to speak with the supervisor, have argument with self. This mother ducker made my sandwich exactly the way I wanted. Thank you. She gives me a shit-eating grin thinking about how much trouble she's about to get me in when the phone behind me starts to ring. I will never forget the face she gave me as I answer the phone, look her in the eyes, and ask her, "How may I help you?" Now I wish I was a fly on the wall to see that shit-eating grin being wiped off her smug face as she realizes she won't be able to get her way, nor get you in trouble. Wonderful story. OP replied, "That one moment has made working in customer service for so long worth it. Lamau. Tell her you can send a corporate representative to meet her at her house and show up yourself. Literally had this happen at my bar last night. Alright guy, you need to leave. Duck you bro, where's your manager? I am the manager. Get out of my bar. You're the manager? You're a ducking kid, get the real manager. Joe. Cue my big ass bouncer throwing this idiot out. Absolute friggin' unit, Joe is. He sure is. And you won't know he's there until he's got you by the collar. People really get mad at Subway like the ducking food isn't laid out in front of their eyes. Imau. People get mad at the upcharges. They don't want to pay more money for double meat, even though they're getting more of the most expensive part of a sandwich. I've also seen people get mad when they get a combo meal and want a larger drink but are charged more. Customers are sometimes irrational. I'd like to pay less for half meat. This is nice for this sub, but I cannot help but to think that is a terrible way to run a store. OP replied, I guess he figured all the money lost from employees stealing from the store and giving free subs to their friends was less than paying a manager's wage. Holy shit, I used to think the Subway I worked at for 6 months in high school was an anomaly. Now I'm convinced this is how every Subway runs. I used to manage a bar that was frequented by some trashy individuals who wouldn't be missed by anyone if a giant flaming meteor fell from the sky and crushed them all to death. This particular evening there was some guy complaining and yelling that he was required to pay for his drinks and that I wasn't hooking him up with a heavy pour and freebies. He hasn't tipped me all night BTW. I looked at him and said, if you can't afford to pay for your drinks, you shouldn't be in a bar. He did not like that one bit. He got indignant and said I was being a witch. Now anyone who knows me, knows I will put up with none of that kind of nonsense. I laughed in his face and told him I'm the witch who won't be making another drink for you, get the duck out. I want to see your manager. I place my index finger on the tippy top of my head, do a quick pirouette, and finish with some serious jazz hands. Tada. Here she is. Now, get the duck out. Watching him stomp out of the bar like a toddler having a tantrum was the most satisfying part. My bar, everyone is a part owner. So, if anyone asks, they can say they are the owner. It works well when they say they know the owner. A human finger in your sandwich? Are you sure you didn't order that? Oh, sir, I'm afraid I'm going to have to charge you for extra meat. But wait. Is this a middle finger? Just for you. Excellent. Smithers, release the hounds. /unexpected Simpsons. So many stories similar to this. My girlfriend, her mom, her sister, and her cousin all work at a Subway. Her mom is the manager and my girlfriend is essentially the assistant manager, not by title, but by work and pay. The number of times that someone was pissed off for something stupid, and asks for the manager to come out and my girlfriend yells into the back, "Hey mom. Someone wants to speak to you." I've been there once to see it happen, and it's priceless. You should have taken it a step farther and offered her the manager's cell phone number. Her reaction when your pocket starts to ring would have been worth watching her crumble even more. But then a crazy person has your cell phone number. But you have hers now too. Let the games begin. Last time I went to a Subway, we stood in line for 15 to 20 minutes waiting for the employee to make one sandwich. He moved around like a snail, left the sandwich in the toaster for 5 minutes while looking for something that he never found. The customer he was helping was getting very impatient and turned to us and said she was about to leave. She finally paid for her meal and left. After that the employee looked at us and said he was closed and refused to serve us. Subway. Wondering if this is in the state of NY somewhere, because I worked at a Subway setup just like that. It's the same out here in the Midwest. Probably a franchisee trick and not a corporate matter. Did she have the haircut and everything? A lot of people are incredulous of OP here, and or asking how a customer could get so mad while at Subway. Well, people can walk in and itch for a fight anywhere if their day is going poorly enough. Even beyond that, though, I think Subway just attracts a higher number of rude customers on average. I've never worked at Subway, but I've had my fair share of $5 footlongs in my day. The number of times I've seen sandwich artists cussed at, chewed out and generally disrespected is alarming and unusual relative to other chains. Typically, it's because the customer is impatient, and or angry that the SA didn't put an entire ducking turkey on their 6-inch sandwich, for no additional cost, naturally. Honestly man, we need to thank the sandwich artists like we thanked the bus drivers a while ago. It's a thankless job even by fast food standards. How does that store run? It just runs itself? I feel like you have a manager, they're just lazy and don't want to do the handling customers part that comes with managing. Or do you minimum wage workers put in all the orders, pay all the bills, send all the paperwork to head office? It might only be a matter of time before corporate steps in and forces some changes. I've never known a Subway to have a manager, ever. An owner yes, but not a manager. They depend on their low-wage employees to take care of shit. There's likely a regional manager that shows up once a week or two to make sure bills are paid and stuff is ordered correctly, usually the owner's incompetent child or niece/nephew.